Hello, welcome back to the Plowman Table vlog. So I promised you a tour of my new office. I posted a video maybe 2 weeks ago of taking over the sunroom. Our bunny was out here and she has now been moved to the garage, which is actually a very nice bonus for her. She gets so much more attention and is fed a lot more because the kids walk by her a million times a day. So she's been relocated and I took over her space, which required extensive cleaning because if you are a pet bunny owner, you know their hair does not stay on the bunny. It goes everywhere. Anyway, so I had to clean this place really, really well. And I did a lot of purging and rearranging in my whole house. And I bet, well, when I was doing this, I was like, you know what? I hope that this encourages somebody to find a space in their house to make their own little creative nook, because I am so happy, so happy. This sunroom has gorgeous natural lighting. I get to see the backyard, which is full of birds all the time. I love looking at birds. There's like a little bitty guy that keeps hanging out right outside my window. I've named him Top because he has like a little orange spot on his head, like a hat, like a top hat. So anyway, my bird, Top. I love it out here because I can look outside and I can feel like I am enjoying the outdoors when in fact I am inside where it is warm. Now, one caveat is it's not warm in the morning or when it gets dark outside. We do have light in here, but there's no actual vent from inside the house to the sunroom. So that is a project that we will be working on. I'll show you. There's like a brick wall in here. And on the other side of it is a vent in the kitchen. And the kitchen has like 3 vents. So I think we're going to steal one from that, where we've been talking to some of our friends who are, I think masonry is the word. They do masonry and brickwork. And they've kind of told us some things we should look into for carving out a vent opening and turning that vent so we have heating and cooling in here. That is a work in progress. But for now, we leave the window from the sunroom to the kitchen open during the day and the door open so the heat comes out here. And it's fine when the sun comes up. In the morning, it's a little chiller. And in the summer, it's going to be really hot. So we might get some curtains. But for now, anyway, not done. I'm going to give you a tour. And then you're going to see this little spot where my little seed babies can go. And I cannot miss the opportunity while it is quiet in my house to talk to you about some seeds. So we're going to talk about seeds. We're going to do an office tour. I don't know why that goes together. It doesn't, but in this video it is. So let's go. So here's my project bin. Our printer, we got to move out of my husband's office. This is my sewing desk. I was gifted this desk about 2 years ago, and it's been out in our little schoolhouse, and I couldn't use it. And so I told Jacob, you got to bring that inside for me. So he did. Now I can start a project and leave it out. So nice. You can't do that on the dining room table. Okay, so this is my desk area. It's a bit of a mess because I am in the middle of planning for homeschool group. This looks a bit disheveled this afternoon, but it's actually like super organized now. I have my language arts, Narnia, social studies, my planner, all sorts of stuff. And it was just like in a pile in the corner or shoved in the cabinet when I didn't have my own space, and it was just hard to find what I was looking for, and we would skip some stuff because I didn't have it ready. And school, it has picked up pace since I've been out here because I have what I need. Organization is so helpful. That's my little rolly cart. It has like where they turn in their work to me. It has all of our little fun container things down here that they use each day. Homeschool group stuff, miscellaneous. Anyway, just more organization. These chairs I got a couple years ago. They don't really match much in my house, but I love them. They're kind of a velvety finish, and they went really well with my rug. My rug I got for $40 at Ollie's. It's one of those washable rugs, and it is so soft, really thin. Anyway, I like it. Lots of fun. Okay, and then back here we have the little kid table. The kiddos hang out and like to do school and just be out here. A friend of mine, her friend was moving and needed to get rid of this TV, so she offered it to us. We accepted. So now the kids can watch a DVD out here, and if we get a vent in here, this space is large enough that if we moved that little table out of the way, we could totally put an air mattress out here if we had company coming and we needed an extra place. And a TV's fun. That might be nice. I like a TV when I go somewhere. I don't know. Total idea there. Mama gets to work out. All my workout stuff is out here. So nice. Although it's been so cold this week, I have not worked out here. I worked out inside. My watercolor bucket. Okay, so this tacky looking business here. This is the exterior door. It's a bit beat up and it is very drafty. So until we get a better door, we've just locked it, and I'm using a tablecloth that is way too fancy to put on our table. It is my nice and ugly curtain for now, but that is a work in progress as well. We're going to get a different door for that. Okay, then over here this is my little garden-y window. There's a lot of sun here. Really, I should have used the window behind me, but this works. It gets good sun too. School buckets down there. I was able to bring in some of my plants that were probably going to freeze over outside. Just little decorations. I will eventually do like a little hanging plant there. And I had my hydrangea sitting in this chair, but it got too cold, so it's back in the kitchen. This is Penelope. This is my little fountain that I made. So this thing was like less than $20. I bought the pump from Amazon, and I got the little snail planter from Pop Shelf and the fake flower succulent things from Pop Shelf, and then the rocks were in my yard, and I already had this basin. I didn't have to use that. If I had bought one, it was also going to be like $8. So between the planter, the flowers, this, the pump inside this, and then if I had gotten a new basin, I could have made this whole tiny little thing for like $25, and I would have been totally happy. But this worked. I love it. I needed some water in my office. I don't know. I wanted some. So yeah, don't judge my backyard where the kids are just hanging out and playing and leave everything. But I love it. I just feel like I'm outside when I'm in here. So much fun. Okay, I said we were going to talk about my little seed babies. Before we all get excited here, we're not like planting all of these seeds right now. Some of them I will start indoors because they need like 6 to 8 weeks to be growing before you transplant them outside. And then others, no, you just like direct sow them. And then there's a couple of things that can be started right now. But the reason why it can be started right now is totally dependent on my zone and my growing season. I don't know where you live, but your zone and your typical behavior of your growing season really is what you have to take into consideration for starting seeds. Our season is generally really long, and it is more warm here than it is cold. This is an unusually cold week here. We don't usually get snow where we live. Not enough that is worth talking about anyways. But January, beginning of February, there are some things you can start indoors and let them hang out until it is past the first or the last frost, and then you can transplant them outside. So I'm just going to go over the seeds I bought I said to my husband, this is what we're growing this year. You know I'm going to buy more. Anyway, this is what I have for now, and I'm going to try to stick to this. You can't buy all of the seeds at the store as much as you want to. I want to. I want to just take like the whole rack. Be like, thank you. I will take them all. You can't. You really have to take your space into consideration. You need to go outside a couple of times a day and make note of what part of your yard is sunny, when it is shady, how long that sunny spot kind of stays full sun. You need to consider, do you have like the spacing ability for some plants like melons, cucumbers, pumpkins? They require a lot of space. And if you don't have a large yard, that may not be what you want to grow in your backyard if you're really interested in growing many, many things. Our porch is full sun like the entire day. So we do a lot of things around the porch and in containers because it's just a really great sunny spot, and we're not currently going to tear down the porch to put a garden in, so we use containers. Anyway, lots of things to consider. And containers, while we're talking about that, before you go buy those adorable raised bed container gardens at the store, I really want you to consider if there are some other resources you could use, like bricks, some cinder blocks, maybe other wood you already have. Even consider buying wood and making it yourself. Those pre-made planters are so cute, but often the reason why you can afford them is because they're not made with great wood. And by the time you fill it with your drainage stuff and your soil, and then you put your plants in and you start watering it, before the end of the summer, it's going to give way, or a lot of them give way on like one side. The wood starts to rot, and then you've kind of wasted some money and you're going to lose some plants. You may even get root rot. There's a whole host of things that can come with it. So I'm not raining on your parade if you want to go buy the pretty planters, but just do some learning before you spend your money. Anyway, that is my plant rant. Okay, my seeds. We are going to go on and start marjoram. Marjoram can be started now, and this one actually suggests putting it in a hanging basket. And you know what? I have that little hanging basket right back there. I thought that might be fun to try, but my husband uses marjoram all the time. He makes an amazing smoked pork, and he uses that on it. It's like the secret weapon. It's not a secret, but you know what I mean. It's a special sauce, and it's good. We will go on and start our peppers indoors. We've been doing that probably for 10 years. I start them in little bitty, like a tray with a bunch of seeds, and then I just gradually put them in something bigger, and then they will eventually go outside. We did pretty well growing these in containers last year. In fact, I actually thought I had killed them, and I just kind of tossed them over into a container, and a couple of weeks later I went to that container because I needed it for something else, and I had amazing pepper plants. I got peppers through October. So last year was, I guess I was just lucky, but the starting peppers inside, I've done that forever. Those that were tossed aside, I was experimenting with some old seeds, and I didn't think that they were even like viable seeds anymore. Okay, we are going to try lettuce. I've done kale before, Swiss chard, and that did okay until the aphids or some sort of bug got it. But Roots and Refuge Farm, you can find them on YouTube. She did a video a couple of years ago where she took a clear plastic Rubbermaid container and turned it into like a mini greenhouse, and she grew baby greens. And I am going to do that. Once January comes, I can't stand it. I've got to get my hands in some dirt. And so that's one of the reasons why I like to start things from seed, because I have an excuse to play in the dirt long before it's actually planting season. I'm going to give the lettuce a whirl. It seemed to work well for her, so we're going to try it. Thyme is another one that we're going to try this year. We did okay with thyme last year. Basil. This is sweet Italian basil. Basil is fickle for me. Like sometimes I get it right and sometimes I don't. I've never had like a really vibrant full, I can't think of the word, bush of basil, like what is in the picture. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know if I'm not cutting it enough. If you have any thoughts or tips on growing basil, I would like to know. I will not start basil yet. It likes it to be warm, and I think it's just a little too cold in here for basil. The time I'll go ahead and plant. And my last little thing that I'll start in, seed starts early, are my tomatoes. I'll probably wait till mid-February before I even think about these, maybe even March. But this is a black Krim tomato, kind of like Kremlin. It's a Russian variety. Sometimes they will actually be totally black when they grow. I thought that would be fun to try. Okay, some other things that are not going to add to my pantry, but they're beautiful and they make me happy. Flowers. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm having to hold this phone in a really weird way because my phone stick thing broke. Okay, I'm going to grow some dahlias. I love those. Zinnia, I'm going to grow. I've grown zinnia couple years now. I love them. They are so easy. If you want to grow a cut flower, these are the ones you want to try. This one says cut and come again. All zinnia are that way. They are a cut flower. They like to be cut, and they in fact will produce better if you cut it. I know when that first little flower shows up, you're like, oh, don't cut it. Let it be. Let it live. When you get a few more, cut it. It's okay. Bring it in, enjoy it. It'll produce some more. 2 other flowers I'm going to try this year are cypress vine and cosmos. Okay, I've tried cosmos a couple of years and I never have success, but I really like it and I want to try again. My seeds were old, so I'm hoping maybe these are newer, they'll work. But if you have any tricks for cosmos, please leave it in the comments. I want to know. And same thing for cypress vine. I've never grown cypress vine before, but my grandmother used to have this and I thought it was really pretty. So I'm going to start that soon, like March, not right now. And then I got this, and this is one of those flowers that's for patient people. I'm not a patient person, but these are Canterbury bells. They're so pretty. The grocery store often has these in bouquets. I'm going to grow those, but unfortunately, they're the kind that you plant and you have to wait like a really long time for them to grow. So it says to plant them like July to September, and then I'll get some the following spring. So, okay. Watermelon. I have a crimson sweet watermelon. Some carrots. These will go out soon. This says they can grow in a pot. Okay. If you want a decent carrot, it's gotta have room for its roots. The carrot is a root. It's gotta have room to grow. I don't know about growing a carrot in a pot. If you have had success with that, that's awesome. Please share your wisdom. I've grown this in like a raised bed kind of container, and that did pretty well. We're gonna try that again. Cantaloupe and cucumber. Cucumber is one of those that needs decent amount of space. We're gonna give that a whirl. I will probably also get some Gumfrina flowers. They look like tiny little puff balls. They're cute. And we did save some seeds from our okra last year and our banana peppers. So we will plant that later in the spring, summer. You know I'm gonna find something else I want to plant. But that's all I have for now. But real quick, while we're talking about seeds, all the seeds I got were non-GMO. I only got one organic seed. And upcoming on the channel, I want to talk about some budget saving things and just some healthy swaps that we've been making for our family. And the word organic, that's a spicy word. There's a lot of opinion out there, and there's a ton of research out there. I want to make better choices for my family. However, buying all organic is really expensive. And so I'm making the swaps where I can. I only got one organic seed. But if you are growing some stuff from home, that means you get to control what herbicides, pesticides, fertilizers go on it. And you can get very good, more natural products to help your plants grow. In fact, we've grown tons of stuff without putting anything on it. If you can grow stuff at home, that's already a win. That's already a healthier investment you're making in your family's pantry. If you can't buy all organic, it's okay. Swap what you can to a more healthy option. Anything that you can get that is a natural food, a whole grain, something that is as close to its original form and it's not been tampered with, that is always better than something that's been modified, that is processed. It's undergone a step between its original form and what you're consuming. Anything you can get in its original form is better. If you can't swap everything, that's okay. One swap is better than no swap. And so we're going to talk about that some more. But when you garden, I feel frustrated sometimes that I can't grow everything and I don't have the ability to like stock my entire pantry with things that I grow. It's okay. Not everybody can do that, but you can crop swap with friends. And like I said, one small choice is better than no choice. So I leave you with that kind of encouragement. Get out in your yard, get on your porch, see what kind of space you have to work with, and then dream about some seeds you want to get and what you want your garden to look like. And tell me about it. Leave it in the comments. And we will have some more yummy recipes coming up soon that will have some of these products in it. I already have one, like pico de gallo. It's on my blog. We make that all summer long. And you need some tomatoes for that. You need cilantro for that. So there's lots of things you can do with only growing a little bit. You don't have to grow a pantry year supply worth of things. You can start small and make something delicious. Anyway, have a wonderful evening, a wonderful weekend, and thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit.